I was born into a family of teachers. My grandparents were rural school teachers in Mexico. They would travel on horseback to rural areas that had no teachers, and they would open up schools. And sometimes they were paid with chickens or fruit or a sack of beans. But teaching was their passion, and I remember being in classrooms as young as 3 years old, walking around with my ruler and telling kids to be quiet and learn. That was my authoritarian phase. I'm a little bit more restorative now.
One of my godparents were both educators for this district, so getting to hear them talk about their students and the progress they were making was amazing. Getting to go to football games with them as a kid was awesome, so I think that was always in the back of my head. The other part is in 6th grade, I was not a big fan of math, and then I got Miss Nye was my 6th grade math teacher, and she made me love math. She made me realize I could do it, and that it wasn't that hard, and that I could be successful, and she made it fun and really cool.
I knew I wanted to work in special education, and I've been here for 13 years. I've been here ever since, and I absolutely love it. I've worked with the severe class, the moderate class, and now I'm in this class, and it's very gratifying. I love doing this.
3 things: the love for learning, the hope to overcome poverty, and the desire to inspire others. Maybe really become a teacher. I have babies, I call them my babies, and it's so, we have to stop. My student inspires me to come to school early, every day, because they are so funny. My children are so funny. I always tell my husband and the people I know, you know, going to school is like going to you don't know if you're going to a telenovela today or you're going to a comedy show.
The kids, when they respond, when you're able to establish that rapport with them, there's nothing more satisfying than knowing that the kids trust me and that I could help them get to where they need to be. It makes me happy. And seeing the steps that those kids make, the advances that they make, understanding the concepts, and knowing that I can help them understand those concepts, there's nothing more gratifying.
My dad inspired me to become a teacher. He was a teacher at Montgomery High School for over 30 years. He taught me the value of a teacher and what a teacher can bring to the students and the classroom. Knowing that the skills that I'm teaching them are not only going to help them in my computer science class, but they're going to help them in all other classes and in life, with problem solving, with critical thinking skills. All of those are so important to everything that they're going to do. I love walking out of my classroom at the end of the day knowing that I made a difference.
My daily inspiration are the students. I love that I am literally in charge of these kids' lives and these kids' futures, and I take that as a heavy and amazing responsibility every morning, that I get to decide if I'm going to make these kids smile more or have a bad day. And so my goal every day is to make them smile more.
In terms of what motivated me to get into education, it really goes back to my family background. So my dad and my mom were immigrants from Mexico. They didn't have more than a middle school education, and one thing that they highly prioritized when we were coming up was public education, and the fact that that was our way to improve our lot in life. And so for me, public education is more than a job, it's really a calling. It's how we can help the next generation of kids have that opportunity, regardless of where they come from. We're a large district, and there's a lot of need from a facility and operations perspective. So just being able to have a strategic mind to make sure that the decisions we make and the investments that we make are sound, in order to make sure that we maximize the effect in a positive way for all of our students and all of our staff.
When I first started, I think as a counselor, I didn't have the experience that some of the teachers wanted. When I first walked in, they said, oh, how could she be a counselor? She's never been a teacher before. That was the era back then when we had to get our teaching credential. So I had my teaching credential, but I know in my heart, I always wanted to be a counselor. It's the counselor role, I think, in the school site that helped the culture. In spite of everything that's going around them, I think that helps the school. And so that helps me do my best. And it also helps when you have a great group of people around you. If you have the students in your heart and you want best for them, your experiences will make up for that. And I think I've done that.
My teachers were my salvation. They were the most stable, kind, supportive force in my life, always. And so I always was close to my teachers and felt like I wanted to do what they do. I feel that sometimes when teachers say that we love our students, people on the outside think of that as something kind of mushy and sweet. But when I say that I love my students, I mean that it is a job. It is hard work. I have to not only be there for them and support them, but I also have to let them know when they're not living up to their potential, and I have to push them sometimes out of their comfort zone in order to do what I know they can do.
You know, initially I didn't want to become an educator. I thought I would be an attorney, but I think it just really offered a balanced family life. I was a nanny while I was attending Point Loma Nazarene, and the mother rarely got time with her kids. I played with her kids while she worked long hours, so I thought that could be something. And during the summer times, I would work for Department of Defense, running youth programs all over the world. And so it was just kind of like a natural step for me, because God just kind of put it in my path that, okay, the kids is who you're meant to work with. And then I also really wanted to become that teacher that my brother never had. And I've been working with at-risk kids forever, it seems. I just want them to avoid that pipeline to prison. And what inspires me is all of my students are not giving up. They face daily struggles just to get to school, some of them. And you know, as a parent, we always want our children to do better than we did. And so I just kind of treat these kids as if they were my own. I would want that teacher pushing them to excel and be their best. To all the teachers, the newest teachers in our district, I strongly encourage you to connect with a mentor, a teacher who's been doing this for a while, and get involved and learn from them, and possibly get involved in union activities. And we want to retain you, and we want to know what it is that you need, you know, to stay in this, because we know it can be difficult. But we do want to retain you, and just reach out. And I encourage all the other teachers that have been here for a while, reach out to those newest teachers and be that mentor that we so need. I'm thankful for all those that mentored me and Mar Vista High School many, many years ago. It's a great profession to stay in. Don't give up.